Margie is in Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, Margie, how are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
I'm honored. How can we help?
I am the vice president of a large travel company, and I am responsible for leading about 3,000 travel advisors, 21 local directors, and 2 employees. And I would love to get your thoughts on how I can continue to lead this large group of people and still do the things I need to do every day as vice president.
Okay, so these are you don't have 3,000 direct reports. You've got 3,000 travel agents out there in this area.
Yes, that I am sort of responsible for helping grow and lead and grow their business a bit.
And you have 21, what you call them?
They're local directors across the U.S.
Okay, so what does a local director do?
The local director kind of helps us to manage the travel advisors in their area.
Okay, so if they have miscellaneous needs, they're going to go to the local director, not to you.
Right.
And so each of those have a couple of hundred on average.
Yes.
Okay. And so and these travel agents are not employees, they're independent subcontractors, but your all's job is to serve them just the same.
Correct.
Okay. And the 21 local directors, are they employees of your company?
They are contractors as well.
Okay. All right. And they report to you. And then in your office, you've just got a handful of folks.
Yes.
Okay. So first thing I want to realize is the system is you've got people that are independent business people. They don't need you to lead them. They just need support. And the methodology that's put in place for that is the local director. And the only time you're going to be stepping in is when it's something that a local director can't handle. It's out of their league, right?
Yes, to a degree. We do provide education and training for them.
Yeah, but I'm saying you don't have 3,000 direct reports that you have to hold accountable and manage their day-to-day activities.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get my head around this because I knew it wasn't logistically possible. Okay. So, and then the people in your office are just administrative staff to help you to function.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are your VP duties in addition to that you're trying to balance with this?
Marketing and more strategic activities that are necessary for us to grow.
By growing, you mean grow the travel agent's business for them or add more of them to your all's portfolio?
Add more of them to our portfolio, as well as a little bit of marketing for our brand and making sure our brand stays recognizable in the industry.
Yeah, but that's also to add them to the portfolio. Okay. All right. So you're not generating leads for them as much as you are, training. You're teaching them how to do it, and then you guys are running branding stuff, strategic branding. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm a little dumb about the strategy, the overall structure, and that's the only way I can answer it is to understand it. So I got to dig into the weeds here a little bit. All right, I'm back with you now. So how do I balance? So it sounds to me like your primary job is not babysitting. It is not babysitting these 3,000 people. Your primary job, at least 80 to 90% of your efforts and mental and emotional bandwidth would be driven towards the training and the strategic and the branding, right? Your VP job is the bulk of your job description.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's how you balance it. You've got to lay it out like that. And so if the 3,000 people are having problems that are boiling up, that are taking up 50% of your bandwidth, then you've got some other kind of problem, a staffing problem, a delegation problem, something else that's going on, because you need to keep 80% of your bandwidth on your VP stuff and 15 or 20% of your bandwidth on making sure the 21 area people are taking care of the 3,000 people, and or again, the occasional major issue comes up that's going to require Margie, right? But most of the stuff is going to boil up to the 21 directors. They're going to take care of it. And as long as you're training them and you're training the travel agents as promised, and then your big thing is you're creating this national branding and you're continuing to add to the portfolio, that is your job. So yeah, that's how you balance it. You've got to analyze it like that and say, okay, what percentage of my bandwidth? And then you kind of, in a sense, if you sense that you're being off, then you would stop and do a little bit of a time study on a couple of weeks to say, all right, out of my week, I'm looking at my calendar. Here's what I did. God, I spent 60% of my time babysitting these people. That's out of line. I'm going to mess up my VP position over here. I've got to change something. Or it's a temporary thing because there was a wave of some kind of silliness comes through or something, right? And that's a temporary thing, a problem that goes away in the industry or something like that. So, yeah, does that make sense? I'm always so let me give you the parallel for me. Here's what I did about 20, maybe 25 years ago, 20 or 25 years ago, something like that. In my prayer time, I figured out God was saying that I'm to work on, as the CEO of Ramsey, I'm to work on three things other than being the product. I'm one of the products. I'm doing that right now, okay, doing the show, right? Being a forward-facing product. But other than that, my job is to work on new things and broken things. And so if something hits my desk that's operational and it stays on my desk too long, I'm not doing my job, because my job is to work on new things and broken things and really big things, something that's big. So I've defined my job that way, and so I watch my time other than being the product. If I'm getting sucked into operational things, that means I've got a leadership problem in my company, someone who's not getting their work done, so operational crap is rolling up to my desk because it became a broken thing. So I'm now working on broken things. There's new things, big things, and broken things, right? But I don't need to see. The only operational stuff I look at the metrics. I'm looking at accounting numbers and sales numbers and metrics and budgeting sheets, and I can do that in 45 or 50 seconds and see what's going on in an area and keep moving and just a checkup and know I'm going on. So my point being, that's not your job, but my point being, I had to say, there's things I do and things I don't do, and if that gets out of balance, that means that's a symptom of another kind of a problem going on out there. And so, in a sense, you're time studying yourself continually. You're managing your time with your prioritized to-do list, if you want to call it that, or your inbox or whatever it is. But you look at the end of the week and you go, I spent my whole week on the wrong stuff. If I do that 50 times in a row, we're out of business. So I have to spend my week on the right stuff. And it has to be done on the right thing. That's your situation. You don't do the strategic branding, vision setting, the VP job long enough because the other people are sucking the blood out of your week. Then you've gotten it out of balance and the whole thing's going to cave in on you. You know that instinctually. That's why you're bright and you're able to do this. But I'm just constantly going to be monitoring the pulse of my time. That's the way I'm going to look at it there and see where we go from that. So really, really good question, Margie. And that group of 3,000 travel agents they're lucky to have you. Yeah, you're watching their back. That's good stuff. It's a good model. Very interesting model. Well done, well done, well done.